This is the dashboard of a Dodge Challenger, and what's happened is the foam around the opening for this heating and air conditioning vent has let go from the plastic base. This is a formed plastic dashboard, and then it's got this textured material on foam core that's glued on top of it. And the heat over the years has caused it to puff up, and to be honest with you, I don't like the way it looks. I'm not sure if this will work for your vehicle, but maybe it will. For the Challenger, what we're going to do is pull this vent off. That's what it looks like. And now you can see the foam. This is the covering, the textured covering, the foam, and then this plastic is underneath it. I have actually tried to fix this before and was not successful. We're going to try using the super glue gel. You can see how this is puffed out. I can stick my fingers behind this one not so much, but the idea is to get this pressed back into shape and have it stay there. The things that I tried before are contact adhesive, and there's another product that's really strong called fabric adhesive. So right now what I'm going to do, since this is super glue, is I'm going to mask this area off. You can't see it, but I actually have a mat on the floor of the vehicle. So if anything drips off there, it's going to catch. I don't want the super glue getting anywhere. So I'm going to mask and paper this area off. I know it sounds like a pain in the butt, and it does take time. This is the cups that come with laundry detergent. I keep these for mixing things and small brush cleaning tasks. They're just cool, so I never throw them away. This is JB Weld Super Weld Extreme. Now I'm not going to squirt this in here. I wanted to get up into the areas down in here, and I don't want to use this nozzle for doing this. I want to apply the glue myself in just a certain way. So I'm going to just squirt some of this gel into the cup. Close the tube. I just don't want this stuff getting all over the place. Now I use a cotton swab on a stick. I guess you could use a really strong Q-tip. I've got a glob of this here. I'm going to pull this back a little bit and just sort of get that glue up in there. Go back into my supply of the gel. I've never used this before. It's kind of fluffy feeling. It's interesting. It doesn't really smell that bad, but it does smell like super glue. So I'm going to go in and really get that up in there as far as I can, this glue. Now I'm going to put a little bit more glue into my cup to do the lower end. Close the tube, of course. Pull this guy back here. There's a lot of space in this lower portion. So I'm really gonna slog it in there, making sure that I cover both surfaces, the foam and this inner plastic. I've never used this glue, and so maybe I'm doing this right, or maybe I'm not. But the one thing is, I don't want to do this again, because I have tried a couple other adhesives, and I want this to be the last time I go into this little vent area. I'm way down in there as far as I can. Now I'm going to use clamps to press this down. And I use the wood here on the top, as you can see, so I don't have the clamp digging into the dash material. This material, the JB Weld Extreme glue gel, super glue gel, has instructions on the back that say you can handle it in 15 minutes, but the full cure is 24 hours. It's not like the regular super glue that we're used to. I have let this sit here under pressure of these clamps for a little over 15 minutes, I guess. Let's take off these clamps and paper and see what happens. You can see this isn't puffed out anymore. Just foam is stuck to the back here. So I like it so far. A little bit of that glue right here though, I think. Yeah, so it's still sort of not dry. So I'm not too sure if there's any more wet glue in there. I'm a little paranoid about that, to be honest with you. So I'm gonna go ahead and reclamp this just for a few more minutes because I got the time, and again, I don't want to do this again. I'm not going to paper it off. There's no way that I'm going to put any more gel on it, so pretty comfortable with go ahead and just sticking these clamps on. Okay, so it's been about an hour. Now the instructions on the JB Weld glue say press and hold for like 30 seconds to a minute or something like that. But I want to show you this stuff. It's different. So my caution here comes particularly at this point. If you have any of this glue around here or here or here, and it's gonna be wet after a certain amount of time, it's gonna a little on-the-fly adjustment to the program here. When I was taking all of the tape off, I noticed that this had pulled loose a little bit, and I just wanted to show you how the little protective strips of wood and the clamps go together for doing that. You can't do all of the edges at the same time, obviously. So I masked all this off and did these edges by putting the glue in these sides with the cotton swab. But I just wanted to show you that you should look at these edges as well. I hadn't actually noticed this before. So this has been out all summer, and maybe these just kind of let loose. And the main thing is that you can see how these clamps are set up. These are smaller because this whole angle is going to be a little tighter going this way. And that the wooden protective sticks here are going to be over masking tape and paper, which I strongly recommend. I didn't want to put you through all that again, so I just did a reconstruction, but please do mask all this off, and I will show you why that is in a second. So yeah, I don't want any glue showing here or in here. I want this to be perfectly dry, so when this goes in, this doesn't get glued to my dashboard. I want to be able to take this off again if I have to. I hope I don't, but anyway, that's the point. So now you can see how this is no longer sticking out. This is pretty much the way it looked from the factory. That's it. These are the items that I used today to glue that dashboard back into place. Masking paper, masking tape. I would have actually loved to have started the first row of masking tape with 2-inch, but I didn't have any. So I just use that. You can see that I use 3 different sizes of clamps, spring clamps. These are the wooden cotton swabs. This is just paint stir stick, and I cut with some tin snips. If you have other pieces of wood that are soft like this that you could use, great. This is the glue, and I don't know if you can see it very well, but I have been messing with this video here for probably an hour, and it's still just like it was. It's really, this JB Weld Super Weld Extreme is interesting stuff. It is gel, but it's kind of light, and it's not like gel I've used before. I really like it, and I hope that it works, of course, but I think it's a great material. Just from my first experience here, this is what it is. I'll put the price of it in the description. So set time 30 seconds, just like any other super glue. But my experience with super glue is that once you set it, it's kind of dry. It dries really quickly, and this is not drying that quickly. Full cure 24 hours. Press both surfaces together and hold for 30 to 60 seconds. Because this stuff is so wet and it doesn't dry, I'm just paranoid of that. I love using the clamps and go in the 15 minutes like it says here. So anyway, I hope it works, stays that way. I'll put a note in if it fails in the description. I have no problem confessing it so you don't waste your time. But no news is good news. So hopefully it'll work for me and you as well, and maybe you can find a way to do it even better.